Hello friends, I'd like to welcome you to Meditaciones Diarias.com.
Welcome friends to our devotional for today, August 12, 2022. Today's title is What God Can Do. Let us read together in 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 12. Let no one despise your youth. John wanted to be a preacher of the gospel, but he was sick with malaria. Then he made a covenant with God. If God healed him, he would dedicate his life to preaching the word. The next day, Norma J. Collins tells us the fever disappeared. Now it was John's turn to keep his part of the pack. But how would he do it without money or clothes? When John felt strong enough to work, he cut firewood for a neighbor. That's how he made his first $1. Upon learning that John wanted to preach the word, this same neighbor gave him presentable clothing. But the clothes were too big, so John cut them down to his size. John was ready to preach. That's when Caleb Broughton, a family friend, visited him to ask what plans he had for the winter. When Mr. Broughton learned that John wanted to go to Rochester to preach, a broad smile spread across his face. John, Mr. Broughton told him, one day I went to visit your father when you were only 2 years old. You played with some wooden blocks while your father talked about the dreams he had for your brothers. Then I asked him what he expected from you. He said, this little boy is going to sound the trumpet of the gospel. With that said, he gave John $3 to cover his expenses. On January 2, 1849, at a Baptist church in Kendall Corners, New York, John preached his first sermon. For 2 nights, the 17-year-old preacher, dressed in funny clothes, preached with power, always citing the Bible as his source of information. The impact was such that the pastor of the church decided to end the meetings, claiming that the venue would be used in the following nights for singing classes. People didn't believe him. Then one of the attendees offered the school headquarters for the meetings to continue, and so they continued over the next 5 nights. The next day, one of the local ministers challenged John. The challenge was that he could show in the Bible that the dead go directly to heaven and that he could read it in Revelation 25. There are only 22 chapters in Revelation, John replied respectfully. Your text is 3 chapters outside the Bible. Nervously, the man searched for the text in the Bible. Not being able to find it, he said he had a citation and got lost from the map. The young man in our story is John Lowborough, a powerful preacher and chronicler of the beginnings of our church. His experience reminds us that no one should belittle us because we are young, and it shows us all the good things that can happen when young people and adults devote themselves completely to God. Enable me, dear Lord, to understand your word and to share it with those who do not know you. Amen. Thank you everyone for joining us on today's devotional for August 12th. Don't forget to share this content with your friends and family. Until next time.
I just want to thank you all for visiting us each day here at Meditacionesdiarias.com. May you have a blessed day.